And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bowl TV. My name is Matt Canizaro, and you have tuned in for day 2 of the Pan Am Trials here at the International Training and Resource Center in Arlington, Texas. We've got 18 Team USA members in the house with us today and this week as they battle through the qualifying process for the 2019 Pan American Games, which will take place in Lima, Peru during the summer. For this one event, the process for qualifying entirely performance-based. These players will battle 4 days here at the ITRC on 4 different lane conditions. It'll be a points-based system based on their finishes each day and overall for the week. And then they'll have an additional opportunity for points that will take place for the men during the USBC Masters at the end of the month, and for the ladies, the 2019 USBC Queens. Those events will conclude this process, after which the top 2 men and top 2 women, based on their total points, will qualify. Great pickup there on lane 9 by Nick Pate. Top 2 men and top 2 women will qualify to represent the United States at the Pan Am Games in Peru. So a very prestigious event. And of the 18 players here with us at the ITRC this week, only Kelly Kulik and Shannon Plachowski have had the opportunity to represent the USA at the Pan Am Games, so they know what's on the line. They know what that amazing, one-of-a-kind, possibly once-in-a-lifetime experience is like. And the bowlers get to participate and enjoy the experience alongside all the other athletes from many, many sports. And essentially just go to the event as members of Team USA as a whole. So as they would say, it's really the closest at this point for bowling to being in the Olympics, and definitely an Olympic-like experience. So that's what's on the line here this week. Again, my name is Matt Canizaro. Thanks for tuning in to our live coverage of the 2019 Pan Am Trials. By my side today, for now, is none other than our marketing superstar and the giveaway guru himself, Brant Houghton. He'll be joining us on the headset to talk a little bit of bowling. He is just now ready to embark on his own live streaming career. He'll be at the helm of one of our broadcasts this weekend. We've got also, along with the Pan Am Trials, we've got sectional events for our collegiate bowlers. 4 different locations around the country. Bowlers battling for spots at the intercollegiate team and singles championships. So Brant will have the opportunity to cover the Dallas sectional right here in our backyard. So looking forward to that. He'll be joining us today to get some reps in a little bit here on Bowl TV. And of course, doing his normal role where he'll jump in the chat here and there and offer up some giveaways, trivia, polls, and other things to keep you on your toes here while you're watching Team USA. So if you have any questions along the way, and we know you will, drop those into the chat. We'll be happy to answer them for you to the best of our ability. Again, generally if we don't know the answer, we make up something and make it sound believable, and then we're good to go. And of course, I'm just kidding, but generally we'll get the info, and we'll share probably more than you'll ever want to know about things like today's oil pattern, for example. Today we're bowling on the 36-foot Stockholm pattern. Yesterday it was a 41-foot invisible opponent. So now 36 feet, and you'll probably see the players, at least initially here in our 6-game block, migrating toward the outside part of the lane. We'll talk about their equipment choices and how we got to this point. Right now, game number 1 of 6 here in our featured pairs, 9 through 12, here at the ITRC. Over on 9 and 10, we'll have the men. Today, Sean Wilcox, first-time Team USA member, along with Darren Tang and Nick Pate. And over on the ladies pair, 11 and 12, a trio of Team USA long-timers. Missy Parkin, she was your leader yesterday on that 41-foot roam pattern. And she is joined by the two ladies we mentioned earlier, Kulik and Pluhowski, veterans of the Pan Am Games. And you saw there on lane 10, Darren Tang dropping one in the drink. And on this, again, this short pattern, they're going to migrate toward the outside part of the lane. Risk reward. So you want to get the ball out to the end of the pattern, close to the gutter, and sometimes it's going to tip in. And that's just, again, part of the risk reward. But when you do hit the spot you're looking for, you have great results, as you saw with Wilcox there on lane 9. So those are the details right now. 6 games coming up. We'll have alternating pairs here, so the men on the left, the women on the right, and then they'll rotate through the ITRC. You'll see each group of folks 2 times throughout the day. The left lane will move left, the right lane will move right. So it should be a good time. Yesterday was as well. If you missed all those highlights, you can check out bowl.com for the recap story. On day 1, Jacob Buttriff finishing strong to lead the men. Missy Parkin, nice finish as well to lead on the lady side, but new day, new pattern, and new points up for grabs here. We'll talk about the format a little bit more as things get going, and some highlights as well on our USBC social media channels. So check that out on Facebook, the Sport of Bowling USBC, and on Twitter at USBC. Brant is here as well, as I mentioned, for some additional insight once I give him an opportunity to say one word. And then he'll be handling some of our Instagram responsibilities as well. So he's a young man and always in tune with what the kids are doing these days. Brant, welcome back.
Thank you, Matt. As you mentioned a little bit earlier, we're rocking, we're rolling, and watching a whole lot of bowling this week. Getting it kicked off with the Pan Am qualifier here with Team USA. We have the best of the best in the house, the ITRC. Jacob Buttriff leading the day yesterday. He really likes bowling at the ITRC. How about it, Matt?
He really does. And, well, really, we've seen Jacob seem to like bowling anywhere.
He does.
And now he's hoping and really looking to bowl at the new bowling center in Peru for the Pan Am Games. And no matter what, you turn around and Jacob Buttriff is in the hunt. Yesterday didn't start off so well, but he finished with games of 279, 257, and 300. Only 300 of the day. The 279 happened right here on our featured pair, 11 and 12. And as he said, as he cycled back through those 3 pairs that he saw earlier in the day, he attacked them a little bit differently. And clearly, that worked out.
If we take a flashback back to the PBA Hall of Fame Classic, he also came very close to setting the house record here at the ITRC for a 5-game set.
See that, some valuable insight from Mr. Houghton, who was here for that event. So once you live him, you never forget him.
This is true. At the rate that Jacob's been bowling lately, prior to that, the 2018 United States Open, once again for the 2nd straight year qualified, #1 seed for the TV finals, didn't quite bring the title home. Jacob's hot. Like you said, he doesn't just like to bowl at the ITRC here in Arlington, Texas. He likes to bowl anywhere. Looking forward to Peru. See if he can hold on here and get there.
Well, Mr. Buttriff now a 3-time Team USA member. We'll see him later in the day. Also picked up a World Cup title and a World Championship back in 2017. So busy couple of years for him. And we'll get all those details. I'll see him twice today. See if he can hang on today and have another solid performance. The way that this format works is that the players will bowl, again, 4 games, or 4 days, 6 games a day on a different pattern. The leader each day receives 1 point, 2nd place 2 points, 3rd place 3 points, and so on. So your goal is to have as few points as possible at the end of the whole qualifying process. So 4 events essentially in one this week, and then overall, based on your total pinfall finish, you'll get points as well. We'll do the same thing at the Masters and the Queens, and when it's all done, the player with the lowest point total, or the 2 players on each side, will go to the Pan Am Games. Simple as that. So whatever happened yesterday already in the past. Players have forgotten about it and moved on, whether it was good or bad. Got to focus one day and one pattern at a time. And sometimes when we have a shorter pattern and we have the that bank spot to the outside part of the lane, it kind of changes the angle a little bit. Carry seems to go up at times. We talk about the days of the high-scoring cheetah pattern, for example. So lower volumes and higher scores generally, but we'll see. Sometimes these world bowling patterns do end up playing a little bit challenging, which the players enjoy. So the opportunity to really test themselves, and we'll see a variation from 36 to 44 feet this week at the ITRC. And these patterns come from the World Bowling Bank of Patterns. They have about a dozen each year that they put out there for the whole world to see and enjoy and practice on. That way, everybody, no matter where you're from, has the same opportunity to see those patterns and get ready for the international events. Coming up for Team USA this year, the men are on the road in April for the 2019 PABCON Men's Championships. That'll take place in Peru, in Lima, in the same bowling center where the Pan Am Games will be held. Brand new center is my understanding, so they'll get a first look at that center. We'll have the announcement of those 6 players coming up later this week. So looking forward to that event. And then down the road for the ladies, along with the Pan Am Games this summer, the World Women's Championships taking place at the South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas. So we'll have that. We'll have those selections coming up down the road as well. This should be a very busy time, especially with the PBA Tour and the PWBA Tour both kicking off and having very long and exciting seasons. Getting close to the final frames here of our opening game. Again, the 36-foot Stockholm pattern is what we are seeing today. A lot of urethane being thrown, and if not that, then definitely a lot of surface. You saw Nick Pate there, leaving the split on lane 10. There's a ton of surface on that bowling ball, and not the result he was hoping for, I'm sure. Mr. Parkin, great pickup there on lane 11. So if you're going to leave it, pick it up. Stay clean. Missy's strategy yesterday on the longer pattern, once she realized where she needed to be on the lane, it was a matter of keeping the ball in the pocket, keep it in play, and make your spares, and it worked out. For the opening day, she didn't score super high, just enough at 12:57 for her 6 games, so plus 57 at 209 average, and got most of that in her last 2 games. So she got comfortable and was able to grind the other 4 games, and it paid off. She's your leader, 1 point yesterday, so right now the player to beat here at the Pan Am Trials.
Matt, you mentioned a lot of urethane being thrown there out on the lanes today. If you had to think of one bowler that is out there today bowling on Team USA that loves their urethane, who would you say urethane reminds you of?
Well, I think looking at this field, the number 1 answer is going to be Jacob Butchuff. That's his kind of his wheelhouse.
It is.
We traveled, for example, to the World Cup, and they're generally when we go to these international events, they're allowed 6 bowling balls, and that's it. 6 bowling balls and a backpack full of Abralon pads to be able to change the surface on those bowling balls. So you turn 6 into 30 at that point. But for Jacob, I want to say there was 5 urethane balls and 1 reactive ball just in case, because he's able to do some pretty crazy tricks out there, and that certainly is his wheelhouse for sure. Darren Tang also very good with the urethane products. Him and his brother Michael, they can do some pretty cool stuff, and for being at this level at least, it's about knowing what your equipment's going to do and being able to adjust it and your hand position and have all the tools to be able to find success and be versatile, especially when you're going to a tournament with just 6 bowling balls. It's going to take more than just equipment at that point to find success. And of course, as we said, filling frames, very, very important, as we've seen some challenging lane conditions across the world over the last couple of years, so you really have to earn it when you're out there. Players did have a 30-minute practice session earlier today. Just like any other event, any tournament they might go to, there's always an unofficial practice opportunity, then an official practice day on the actual oil pattern, and then you get right to it. So they had half an hour, then they redressed the lanes. They came out, they had 10 minutes of practice on their starting pairs, and now here we are at the end of game number 1 for our featured pairs. Missy Parkin, 176 with the open in the 10th. Kelly Kulik can max at 225 here. Shani Pluhowski, the lone left-hander for the women. She is closing things out over on 11 right now. Nick Pate, 223 with all 3 in the 10th. Sean Wilcox, the miscue on the single pin, 200 for him. And now Darren Tang getting the 7 to go late. He can get to 194. Here's Pluhowski's final shot to close things out. She's a 2-time World Cup champion and finishes with 207. And we'll have standings as quickly as we can each game. And looking at the new Bowl TV interface, over there on the right side of your screen, you've got your chat feature. So hopefully everybody's following along. Having some good conversation. Next to that, the little star that'll tell you who's coming up on our featured pairs each game. Next one, tournament information. That's all the good stuff. Click on that. It'll take you to the Pan Am Trials page at bowl.com. And there you can find the details for the event, as well as the scores once they're available. Yesterday's scores, if you missed out, you also can see the oil patterns that we're facing this week. Yesterday, it was a 41-foot Rome. Today, 36-foot Stockholm. Tomorrow will be 44-foot London, and we'll close things out with Beijing at 39 feet. So World Bowling has the bank 30 and bank 40, and then 6 patterns in each. So we're just getting a small taste of what's available out there. And those are the 12 patterns. Again, when Team USA travels to events, whether it be regionally, within the Pan American Bowling Confederation, or in the World Championships, for example, those are the patterns that would be selected. Oftentimes, Brant, when they travel to these international events, they kind of know which bank the pattern will come from, but they don't know exactly what the pattern will be. So they have to make their arsenal selections and preparations just based on that simple information, that it will be bank 30, bank 40, whatever it is, and then have to make those adjustments on the fly once they get to the host city. And just like that, game number 2 underway. Let's meet our players here for game 2. Up on 9 and 10, we've got AJ Johnson, recently added to the Team USA roster, bringing that number to 13 total. And he's a past member of the team, was a world champion in the team event in 2017. He is joined this game by Perry Crowell IV and EJ Tackett, who recently shined at the World Men's Championships in Hong Kong, picking up a handful of medals, including all event gold. And over for the ladies, Liz Culkin, our reigning U.S. Women's Open champion, also a PWBA major champion, and Stephanie Johnson. Long career for her here on Team USA. They're joined by Shannon O'Keefe. Shannon and Steph, you might know them as Shafani, have been on the team together since 2005 consecutively. So Team USA staples along with Pluhowski, Kulik. So really a lot of experience and tenure on the women's team. That team's so deep, especially now with the return of the PWBA Tour. The talent only getting better. Add in the young players like Culkin and Jordan Richard, just fresh out of college, clearly making names for themselves on the PWBA Tour. And now they are, I don't want to say the next generation for Team USA, as we're not trying to push anybody out, but they certainly are the young up-and-comers, and they are exactly where Shannon and Stephanie were 10 or so years ago.
The future is bright, Matt. And if you look down the lane as well, you got Sydney Brummett, just newly out of Wichita State, 2017 ITC champ, part of that team. The future definitely bright here for Team USA. Like you said, not looking to push anybody out, but we definitely have some capable bowlers coming up through the ranks consistently.
We have 12 women overall on the roster, so 25 between both teams. This week, 9 men and 9 women in town. There's a handful of players unable to make it. There's an event going on in Qatar. I know for sure Danielle McEwen and Kyle Trooper there. I would imagine that the other folks not here could be there competing as well. If you're curious about Team USA in general, or who the team members are, or just want to learn about some of the new team members, you can visit bowl.com/Team USA. And there's a bio for each player on there, as well as a schedule for what's coming up this year. Take a look at Crowell here on lane 9. First time Team USA member. And he's kind of been a name a little bit at the Team USA trials in the past and out there at some PBA events as well. Both collegiately at Midland. He is kind of famous now in the Detroit area, works at the Detroit Athletic Club. Sweet little bowling center they have there if you've never been. Being able to get in there and check that out. Tons of history and prestige there. Just a fun little place. And the guys there are very proud of him making Team USA this year. So looking forward to seeing what's in store for him down the road with the program. But Brant, on the men's side for sure. We talked about the ladies and the experience there, and then add in some top young talent from the collegiate ranks. We need to mention Brianna Clemmer, who's not here this week, but she has had a stellar youth and collegiate career. So a nice transition there for some talented young players for the ladies. And on the men's side, very similar as well. We don't have the super long tenured players for the men. Some of the young stars, E.J. Tackett, Kyle Troop, all relatively new to the Team USA program. But then you add in the father figure, John Janowicz, who's here, our Team USA Trials champion. Outside of that, much of their experience on the men's side comes from the PBA Tour action and from collegiate bowling. But some young players, Wesley Lowe had a terrific youth career with Junior Team USA. He now has made the jump to the adult team. Solomon Salama, not here this week, but a top young prospect, 16 years old, making both Team USA and Junior Team USA. And we saw earlier in game 1, Sean Wilcox, first time on Team USA, also made the junior team. He's just 20 years old, kind of burst into the spotlight this year. So a very nice mix of young talent and PBA experience, but a little bit less on the international side. So it'll be interesting to see with the PAMCON coming up. It's not a World Championships year for the men, but to see some players get some experience there and kind of get their legs under them with this Team USA program and kind of how life is out there in the international bowling world. Much different than you see on the individual side of the PBA Tour, but all those players seem to adapt relatively well, and with the amount of time they spend together on tour, certainly some pretty tight friendships as well. All right, so as we talked about here on this shorter oil pattern, oftentimes strikes a little bit easier to come by. Some strings already here in game 2. E.J. Tackett started with the front 4 before crossing over and leaving the 5-pin, and now you see arms in the air. Just having a good time here as well. Part of the process. You got to have fun.
You have to have fun, Matt.
Got to have a little bit of fun. Yes, we're having a serious competition here, but this also a great week for some team building and a little bit of fun. So there you see Perry Crowell, A.J. Johnson, hands up. E.J. shoots and makes the 5-pin. So a nice bowling tradition there. Otherwise, it'd be Gatorades for everybody, courtesy of E.J. had he missed that 5-pin. So back to the action now. A.J. Johnson stepping up. He's got the front 4. Shannon O'Keefe next door has the front 4. Again, just won 300 yesterday. That was Jacob Butchuff. See if the best in the country can wow us with some strikes here today. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop those into the chat. We're here to get those answers for you. Yesterday, we had the opportunity also to give away an autographed Team USA jersey, autographed by Shannon O'Keefe. Shannon, again, Team USA member since 2005. She recently won the World Cup as a member of Team USA, also a multi-time world champion. And that giveaway came in between games 3 and 4 yesterday, so keep an eye out for that and more as we are here settled in for game number 2 of 6.
The t-shirt cannon today, Matt, is ready to rock. It's warming up to my side, ready to give away some more autographed stuff. We might have a potentially Josie Barnes signed Team USA jersey to give away today. So everybody watching back home, stay tuned. It's not just about the great bowling on the lanes. The new Bowl TV platform provides a bunch of different exciting engagement features for you guys to get closer to the lanes. Because Bowl TV is where bowling lives.
All right, so a good question about the score PDF. And once we get that from our tournament director here, he's coming this way. We'll get that posted for you. Again, click on the third tab there on the right side of your screen. Click on the tournament information, and then you'll see a spot for so we'll get that updated for you. We should have it here hopefully by the end of this game, posted on bowl.com. It's a little bit easier after the initial upload, but in the meantime, welcome to Strike City. Shannon O'Keefe and AJ Johnson both with the front 5. O'Keefe delivers. Can AJ match? 300s are fun. Everybody likes strikes for sure. I imagine that not all 4 patterns this week will yield that same type of excitement, but some will be a little more demanding. Spares are exciting too, though, especially when you get cool stuff like an opportunity to go to the Pan Am Games.
That is pretty cool, Matt.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you shoot, like did Norm Duke say it, doesn't matter if you shoot 280 or 180 as long as you have more pins than the other guy.
Yes, sir. Norm said it best. Back-to-back PBA champ.
So AJ can't hang on. Nearly leaves the bucket. 7 count in the 7th frame. Again, if you want to watch the live scoring, click on that same information tab. Go to the Pan Am page on bowl.com, and you'll see a link to the live scoring here at the ITRC. But, no more growing strings. Shannon O'Keefe is the lone possibility here for you. Crowell delivers on lane 10. You saw that ball shoot off the spot on this 36-foot pattern. And O'Keefe, nice break. She also didn't get that one back, but able to tickle the 2 for the 7-bagger right here on Bowl TV. Tell your friends. We'll be here all day. But now would be a good time to tune in.
Have a question in the chat from Femke. why are we not on YouTube anymore? Bowl TV decided to do a facelift. We wanted to give you guys more engagement features, a little bit better experience, and that's where we're at today. Not only just the chat, some updated standings, easier for you guys to get all the different information you need on not only the oil pattern, the standings, the live scoring, the players involved, on what lanes that we're featuring on TV, on the TV pairs. Also, a chance to share on Facebook a little bit. Chance to win some cool prizes. Shannon O'Keefe delivers that strike in the 8th frame. So this new Bowl TV platform for everybody that's watching right now gives you a little bit of everything. YouTube gave you some great bowling viewership, as well as the chat. I mentioned earlier, the new Bowl TV gave it a little bit of a facelift.
I think too, even more customized to us and our sport and what our bowling fans want to see. And some again great capabilities that we can add, we can change depending on what event we're at or what we have going on, how many people we have available. Plenty of different options for things we can do, and then down the road some additional insight and content for you to really make Bowl TV the complete package. But as you see, we have the ability, we have the chat, we have the information, we have lane assignments, we have the giveaways. That right-hand side of your screen, pretty expandable. So at any point, we can give or take features and experiment, see what the people like. And always a work in progress, but certainly a lot of fun so far. And Shannon O'Keefe having some fun as well. She's got the front 8, and we've got a front row seat. She'll be finishing on lane 11, should she be able to get number 9 here on the right lane. So really we couldn't get any closer than if we just walked right up to the set tee ourselves. And you're here to enjoy it with us. Keefe delivers, and again.
Tickles the 2, as you like to say, Matt.
That's it. She gets the 2 to go late, off the wall, and yeah, she smiled and enjoyed that one, but I imagine she's thinking through the adjustment at this point, what's going on out there, and a lot of times on these shorter patterns, if you get it in a little bit, you don't quite get it to that hook spot. It goes right through the break point, and that's why we're seeing the washouts and those light hits, just missing it a little bit. And, now 2 nice breaks there for O'Keefe, an opportunity to make the right adjustment and get back on track. Still a long way to go. It's just game 2 of 6 here at the ITRC. Again, if you're just dropping in, my name is Matt Canizar alongside Grant Houghton. We're now from Bowl TV. And if you like what you're seeing, tell your friends. Make sure you get logged in here, and we'll have an exciting weekend coming up of collegiate action from all around the country. Jason Thomas, Emil Williams Jr. already on the road to their sectional locations. Aaron Smith will be headed out tomorrow, and Brant will be right here in the Dallas area. So really coming up on Friday, you'll have the opportunity to watch 5 different events happening all simultaneously here on Bowl TV. It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. But right now, we're looking forward to the end of game number 2 here at the ITRC. 36-foot oil pattern. The strikes are piling up. Stephanie Johnson is going to close things out here for the ladies. She can get to 240 this game. So her string interrupted with a Greek church there in the 7th frame. But again, 240 for her. Liz Culkin has doubled up in the 10th. She can get to 226. And of course, we'll patiently await Shannon O'Keefe stepping up with the front 9. See if we can't get some additional highlights here for our social media. Should she finish that off. Over on the men's side, 10th frame underway, EJ Tackett, 227 max score. Barry Crowell can get to 204. And AJ Johnson, 265 max. He started with the front 6 before running into some trouble. But he is back on track now, strike up in the 9th. right, here's O'Keefe. Stepping up on lane 11, front 9. Looking to stay perfect. Looks like she made the right adjustment and buried that one. Again, after 2 light hits in a row, that one was a no-doubter. But still, even after throwing 10 strikes, she's here talking it over with Stephanie Johnson.
She liked that one, Matt.
We've seen O'Keefe throw a lot of strikes over the years. A lot of them coming in big Team USA moments, others on TV. And anytime you can string together 10 or 11, that's fun. And now she is on the edge of perfection. Brant will get his phone out for the Instagram highlight. Get the record button up here as well. She is for 300. Mixes them up, light hit.
Fall.
There you go. The 8 goes late. O'Keefe polishes off the first 300 on the women's side here at this year's Pan Am Trials. They call it a perfect game, but that one included a few breaks along the way.
Hey, sometimes it's better be lucky than good, Matt.
Hey, it all
Luck
looks the
does
same.
play.
All looks the same on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
12 strikes, 300, and O'Keefe off to a hot start today. 5:18 for her first 2. Again, working on getting those standings posted. We'll have the update here for game 2 here shortly as well. Just a great start for her. Looking to maybe make up a little ground after yesterday. O'Keefe finished the day in 7th place. So she picked up 7 points. The goal is to have the fewest points possible at the end of the week. All right, game 2 in the books. Crowell 201, Tackett 226, Johnson 242, Stephanie Johnson 239, Shannon O'Keefe 300, and Liz Culkin 226. So high scoring affair here. We'll get ready for game number 3, see who's coming our way, and have that for you in just 1 minute. Folks, we appreciate you being here on Bowl TV. Live coverage of the 2019 Team USA Pan Am Trials. 4 of these players will be headed to Peru next summer to represent the USA at the Pan Am Games. Who will it be? Who's your favorite? I'll say, having traveled and been to events with most of these players, they're all my favorites. Like my children. You can't play favorites. You like them all, perhaps in different ways, but all just amazing players and talents, and amazing ambassadors for our sport. So looking forward to seeing whomever those 4 players are. All right, so things getting quiet here as we get ready for Game 3. The halfway mark is coming up. Wonder what kind of halftime fun we're going to have here in the booth with the giveaway guru. You'll have to stick around to find out.
T-shirt cannon may or may not be getting warmed up, Matt. Yesterday we had a viewer tuning in from Korea. So maybe we might just have to see how far this T-shirt cannon can go, what the range is on this thing.
Well, speaking of Korea, you guys can't see the flags here, but just above the masking units here, across the bowling center, the ITRC International Training and Research Center. It really is international, as there are dozens of flags hanging across the rafters here, each one representing a country that has visited or trained here at the ITRC. So even though this is the home of Team USA, this is one of the world's finest training facilities, and countries from across the globe have utilized the tools and the coaching staff here at the ITRC to help advance their own bowling programs. Flags across the rafters, visiting the home of Team USA. And some terrific tools here inside the ITRC. From motion capture, speed capture, you can monitor just about every aspect of your game from even before you release the ball. You can see yourself from all different angles, all kinds of goggles and tools and measurements and different things that the coaches can use to help fine-tune your game. And it is not just for the elite players. Keep that in mind. As a USBC member, you are welcome to visit the ITRC. You can book a half or a full day session here. Customize your visit. So whether you're looking to learn more about lane play or ball surface adjustments or get some equipment drilled or just fine-tune certain things, you can adjust your schedule to your needs, or you can just come in at any time that they're open and lanes are available. Today probably wouldn't be the best time.
Probably
but,
not.
You can come out and they can even put out this 36-foot Stockholm oil pattern for you. And now after watching Bowl TV and watching Team USA attack the pattern, you can come out and see how you can do. Can you shoot 300 like Shannon O'Keefe? Maybe she taught you a little something there. You can come out and put that to use. Or if you have a specific pattern you'd like to bowl on, you can just do that. Get a lane for an hour, and they'll put out whatever pattern you'd like. So check it out. Visit the ITRC, give them a call, and see what they can do for your game.
That's the great part about the ITRC, Matt, is that you can walk in here. The employees will lay down whatever pattern you'd like, whether it's the Stockholm, the Rome, you want a short, a long, medium pattern. They'll hook you up, help you better your game, your spare game. If you're having problems with picking up 10 pins, they can help you out there. Really is the mecca of all bowling centers, and as it is in the name, the International Training and Research Center. So, Matt, we talked a little bit about the oil patterns, but this is a training center. So can we touch on the different aspects and features of the center that make this different from your typical bowling alley back home?
Well, we just mentioned just a few of the many tools. You can see it there on the lanes, actually, on the gutter cap, those black boxes. Those are tools that they can use to track, your ball motion, where you cross at the arrows, where you cross at different parts of the lane. They can check your speed, all the different things there. They can watch rotation and axis tilt and come out and just measure all kinds of things and gadgets, and they can help you with your balance and your arm swing. And they got cameras that you can see yourself from the front, from the back, from the side, from above, all at the same time. You can see your footwork. Just very cool stuff. And then even getting more in depth, they can do some additional motion capture type things. They have suits of spandex with sensors on them, and just some of the things that Team USA is able to do. Goggles and things to help you with like where you line up and where you look, and just to to help visualize some of the things that you can't see, while you bowl. It's pretty amazing. They have the camera set up kind of on a time delay so you can throw the shot, turn around, and see yourself and get a different vantage point that way. And, of course, no eyes better than the eyes of the Team USA coaches.
Certainly.
Inside this building, we have 3 of the handful of USBC Gold coaches in the world. So Rod Ross, he's your Team USA head coach. He's here, his full-time job at the ITRC, but he'll be there traveling with Team USA. And Lou Marquez is a ball drilling expert. So he runs the pro shop here, USBC Gold coach. He's actually walking around right now just off camera, looking in and seeing maybe how he can help the Team USA players when they come through. And then Stephen Padilla, our USBC Director of Coaching, and the Team USA High Performance Director, is a USBC Gold coach as well. Past experience at the Kegel Training Center down in Florida. And Stephen occasionally comes out and helps out too. So, so many talented coaches and good eyes and tools, and just amazing opportunity again. Even if you just want to bowl on a certain oil pattern, sometimes that can help elevate your game immensely by really challenging you to make good shots and make your spares. And that's really one step in becoming a much better bowler. Maybe all these technologies aren't for you, so just start with the basics. Again, come out and bowl on some tougher patterns. That'll help make you better. And then start understanding why your bowling balls do what they do, how they do it, what the differences are, and how to make those adjustments. So these players right now, you're seeing them play toward the outside part of the lane. Why? Why are they doing that? Based on the oil pattern, that dictates. That's going to give you the best opportunity to hit the pocket and knock all the pins down. That's the point of bowling. But each pattern, just looking at it, will give you a general idea of what you want to do, and then it's a matter of knowing your equipment and your game to be able to adjust off of that. Again, it gives you a starting point, but then you have the tools to be able to make the moves on the lane, left to right, and not get locked into just one idea. Well, the folks here at the ITRC can help you see and understand those things and understand when it's time to make a ball change or make a surface change, and understand why and how different things like that all work together to help you find success. All right, so strikes across the house here for game number 3 now. To our left, Shannon O'Keefe has the front 5, so that's at least 17 in a row for her. She's looking pretty relaxed here. Again, 5-18 for her first 2 games. So she's looking to shoot 800 for her first 3 here today. And on her way, Jacob Butchoff had 836 for his last 3 yesterday with the 300 game, and now he's got the front 6 here on our feature pair. He's joined by the left-hander, fellow left-hander Wesley Lowe. 2 lefties who see the lane pretty differently at times, and we saw that in the standings yesterday. And they're joined by the longtime Team USA member John Janowitz. Over on the ladies' side, Josie Barnes, Cindy Brummett, and Jordan Richard, 3 young players. And their Team USA resumes growing as well. All 3 of them joined us in the Dominican Republic. And for Josie, it was PabCon back in Cali in 2016. So some good experience there, and building again on their resumes as kind of the next generation.
Jacob with the front 8 now. He really liked that one too. He might just be getting warmed up though. Shannon O'Keefe's run comes to an end with 17 straight, 7 spare in the 6th frame for Shannon. Still loose, looking to bounce right back here, 7th frame. Front 9 now for Jacob Buttrock.
All right, so just like Shannon O'Keefe finished right in front of us, Jacob now will bowl his 10th frame on lane 10, looking for his second 300 in as many days. right, Butchuff now with the front 10 quietly. Here in our featured pair, O'Keefe's run came to an end after 5 this game. She still can shoot 266, but will be short of the 800. Butchuff.
He's really making it look easy out there right now, Matt.
He had 398 for his first 2, so things, again, not as smooth on the fresh as one would hope, but another 100 here on that plus or minus certainly wouldn't hurt. A miscue by Wesley Lowe in the 10th. Some mental lapse there. Always challenging in situations like this where you're the left-hander, and Wesley didn't bowl poorly this game at all. Yesterday, a little bit of a different story.
Kicks it out. Big time messenger for Jacob there in the 10th. For the 1200, excuse me, 300. 12 in a row for Jacob.
We're gonna name this place after him pretty soon.
For those watching back home, we've had an action-packed first 3 games this morning. 2 300s on the TV pair. The first by, of course, Shannon O'Keefe, lanes 11 and 12, and that was in game 2. And now in game 3, Jacob Butchuff with his second 300 of the week on lanes 9 and 10 here in the 3rd game. Bowlers across the board look to be settling in. Wesley Lowe does look comfortable out there. A little bit of a miscue in the 3rd game. Overall, having a strong showing so far.
Couple big scores around. Jordan Richard, 268. Sydney Brummett, 205. Josie Barnes, 211 for the ladies. Brant, that's the end of game 3. That's halftime. Got game 4 coming up here in just a minute. We just got our standing situation going as well, so keep an eye out for that. We'll have the update here in just 1 minute, but game 4, just minutes away. Here on Bowl TV, my name is Matt Cannizzaro, alongside Brant Houghton, bringing you the live action from the 2019 Team USA Pan Am Trials here at the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. Thanks for joining us. We'll have game 4 coming up in just 1 minute.
Shannon O'Keefe wrapping up the third game over there on lanes 7 and 8. Looking to punch out in the 10th. Did the last two for 266. Messenger kicks out the second strike in the 10th for Shannon. Matt, as you mentioned, it is halftime here. So the Bowlers are about to get underway with Game 4, halfway through today's action. And like I said yesterday, I don't think I know a better halftime show than giveaways. T-shirt cannon ready to rock and roll today. I think it's time to start doing some giveaways, giving away some free stuff. What does everybody think back home watching? Is it time? Should we wait? Game 4, Game 5, Game 6? You tell me. I'm ready to rock whenever you are. But are you ready? Matt, I gotta be honest, I just couldn't wait. Oh, congratulations to Allison. Today's prize, autographed Josie Barnes Team USA jersey. As we mentioned, Team USA in the house all week. What a better opportunity to give away some signed stuff by none other than your 2019 Team USA roster. I see Russell in the chat, just missed it. No worries. We've given away stuff all week, and not only this week, throughout the weekend at sectionals and every event that we will do on the new Bowl TV. That's just one of the new features that we now have, the new sets of engagement features. We like to give stuff away here at Bowl TV, so tune in early, often. Of course, you'll have more opportunities to win some cool stuff.
All right, speaking of cool stuff, Game 4 underway. Here are our featured pairs. We saw these guys earlier in the day. Nick Pate, Sean Wilcox, and Darren Tang. And for the ladies, we have Shannon Plahowski, Missy Parkin, and Kelly Kulik.
I have a question in the chat from Drew if there's a way to make the screen a full screen on your phone. Drew, you should be able to flip your phone horizontally, and it should switch. I'm checking right now on mine. It is an Apple iPhone. I'm not sure exactly what phone you have, but try switching horizontal and see if that works. Dennis Hacker, good day to you as well, sir.
All right, we're getting those standings synced to the website right now, so go click on the information tab there next to your chat window and see what the standings are after 2 games. We just got game 3 coming our way, so we'll get those posted shortly.
Kelly Kulick looking to make a run up the standings. She's got the front 2 now. Here on lanes 11 and 12, one of our TV pairs. We have another 5-pin here in the TV pair, this time Sean Wilcox. See the camaraderie coming into play, the team bonding. As we talked about yesterday, Matt, Team USA, not a whole lot of opportunities to get under the same roof, same building. They're out on tour, they're traveling together, they're bowling together in same tournaments. He picks it. But other than the Pan Am qualifier, some other qualifier events, and team camp, they don't get a whole lot of opportunities to get down here, put in some work at the ITRC with Team USA coaches. Of course, they're always available to watch some video of their game from a remote location. But as a team, building that chemistry out on the lanes, off the lanes, this is one of the few chances that they get to do that. Darren Tang with nasty 9-pin. As our coworkers Emil Williams Jr. and Aaron Smith would say, hashtag No 9-pin. Jacob Buttra finally stopped striking down on lanes 5 and 6. He matched Shannon O'Keefe's front 17 in the 2-game stretch. His run finally came to an end in the 6th frame. Then big 9 count. They're on lane 5.
All right, we'll take a quick look at the standings after 3. We're just getting to the halfway point now of game number 4. Jacob Buttroff again started a little bit slowly once again, 193.205, and then 300. He leads the way at 698 after 3, followed by AJ Johnson, 676. EJ Tackett at 674, Nick Pate 661, John Janowitz 640, Darren Tang 636, Craig Crowell 620, Wesley Lowe 584, and Sean Wilcox 555, looking to make up some ground here in game number 4 for the ladies. Shannon O'Keefe 784 start with the 300, Sydney Brummett 698, Steph Johnson 686, Kelly Kulik 641, Jordan Richards 630, Duhowski 625, Culkin 620, Barnes 606, and Missy Parkin, yesterday's leader, in 9th place today at 553. Again, that's at the halfway point. 3 more games coming up here from the ITRC. Folks, if you're just joining us for your lunch hour, perhaps, my name is Matt Cannizzaro, alongside Brant Houghton, the giveaway guru, who just gave away an autographed Team USA jersey. Who knows what we have in store for you the rest of the way, besides some terrific bowling here from our Team USA members looking to qualify for the 2019 Pan Am Games. And this process will take place over 4 days here at the ITRC on 4 different lane conditions. And then we'll throw in a 5th event. For the men, it'll be the USBC Masters. For the ladies, the USBC Queens. Later in the coming months, and they will be assigned points based on their finishes each day and in each of those events, and the lowest point total after it's all said and done, the top 2 men and top 2 women will advance to represent Team USA at the Pan Am Games. The idea, if you are the leader each day, you'll receive 1 point, and if you're overall leader at the end of this week, 1 more point, so for a grand total, a minimum of 5 points. If you have 5 points at the end of this week, you did phenomenally well. Jacob Buttroff and Missy Parkin are the only 2 who can do that. They led yesterday on day 1 on the 41-foot Rome pattern, and now it's 36-foot Stockholm, and you'll see the players starting to migrate a little bit left. Darren Tang, great shot there. He is considerably farther left on the approach of where the players were when they started, but still aiming for that same break point down the lane, the end of that 36-foot pattern. And you can see the sharp angle back toward the pocket now as the lanes start to open up. Break down a little bit. Equipment choices certainly will change. Wilcox going with the high hard one there. Nick Pate looks like still going with some sanded pearl urethane. So always interesting to see the equipment choices and kind of how that changes over the games, especially, Brant, as the players migrate through this particular event. They're seeing each of the pairs twice, and we're seeing them twice. So now you saw these guys in game number 1. So now you can see kind of where they are in game 4 compared to where they started the day, which is a pretty neat little feature that we have here Not really, just because the ITRC is an intimate little setting. This week we're using lanes 3 through 14. And again, that is 3 pairs of men, 3 pairs of women, so they'll see each pair twice during the event. Kelly Kulik seems to be enjoying this pair quite a bit. She now has the front 6. But a lot of strikes piled up as we get toward the end of game number 4 here. Looking forward to the exciting conclusion to the day. We do appreciate all the great comments in the chat, questions and such. And of course, seeing all the fans, the regulars come on back and watch their favorite players. Just as you guys have your favorite players, we have our favorite fans. So we do appreciate everybody joining us here on Bowl TV today. Now, Brant, I know this is a big moment for you, but I'm going to step out here for a minute. Got to take care of some business. But in the meantime, Kelly Kulik has the front 7, and you get the stage to yourself as you get ready for your independent solo live stream debut coming up later this week at one of our sectional events. So it's all yours. I'll be right back.
All right, Matt. As Matt mentioned, the TV pairs continue to be hot. Kelly Kulik with the front 7 here on lanes 11 and 12. Myself and Matt, as well as everyone back home, been treated well this morning. A lot of big scores, especially on the TV pairs, 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 here at the International Training Research Center in Arlington, Texas. Boom. Kelly with the front 8 now. She's looking pretty comfortable there out on the lanes today. 4th place here on day 2. Looking to continue that climb up the scoreboards as Sean Wilcox throws it in the drink. As my counterpart Matt Canizaro mentioned earlier, it's a fine line the players have to play today. Pattern short, 36 feet. Playing a little bit closer to the gutter. Some urethane, potentially some high surface. Starting to gravitate more towards the left side of the lanes with their feet. Nick Pate on lane 10. Going to finish game 4 with 2:59. Got all of them there. Kelly with the front 9 now, going into the 10th, seeking perfection. Comfortable as ever. Nick Pate finishing game 4, 257. Big game for him. EJ Tackett on lane 13 and 14, the 268. Leslie Lowe continues to have a good day with a 236. Darren Tang couldn't quite kick out the 7-pin there. Finishes game 4 with a 227. See Parkin looking to wrap up her game here. Plus, she nails that spare conversion. 209 she will finish with. As Kelly Kulick steps up in the 10th, seeking all 12 strikes here in the 4th game. Tenth shot for Kelly looks just as good as the first 9. Should just be getting warmed up here. 10th frame. Can she make it 300 games for you guys watching back home on the TV pairs? They're hot early this morning. There's the 11th for Kelly. There we have it, folks. Those of you watching back home, Kelly Kulick wraps up the 3rd 300 of the day here on the Stockholm 36-foot pattern. If you've been tuning in to Bull TV this afternoon, had a 300 game each of the last 3 games. In games 2 with Shannon O'Keefe, game 3 with Jacob Buttriff, now Kelly Kulick in game 4. Team USA is lighting the Stockholm pattern here today. A lot of big scores for those that have even not bowled a 300. All 3 300s that have been bowled today on the TV pair again. As we get the side panel graphics updated for you. Let you know who will be bowling on the TV pairs here in Game 5. The best of the best in the house here today at the ITRC, and they really are showing it. It's a big split there early for EJ Tackett. The ITRC does not make it easy for bowlers. This center is specifically designed to not make it as easy for you to carry a messenger, to score high. So when you bowl a 300, when you bowl a high score here at this specific center, it's an extra congratulations to you. Rod Ross and company here, they're not making it easy on you. As it's said in the name, this bowling center is designed to better your game and further develop it. Some of the best coaches and staff here in the world. But also some of the features and characteristics of the center, the lane surface, the topography, the different patterns they're laying down, the kickbacks, as I previously mentioned, all go into play, are all factors here when you come into bowl. Those of you watching back home, make sure to share the wealth, all the fun that you're having here on the new Bowl TV platform. Tell your friends, tell your family, share to Facebook. We got a nice little link down there in the lower left-hand corner for you to make it easy. Let everybody know about the new Bowl TV platform. Team USA bowling here all week, kicking off the fun for us. We have a lot of bowling this week going on. We have also the intercollegiate team championships, qualifier sectionals this weekend starting on Friday. 4 different regions. All be on the mic here in the Dallas region. Jason Thomas in Stratford, Aaron Smith in Smyrna, and Emil Williams Jr. bringing it to you from Addison. So as always, Bowl TV will be rocking and rolling and showcasing a whole lot of bowling for those of you back home. Of course, for a list of upcoming events, don't just take my word for it. Check out the sidebar panel. We have a lot of information for you over there. Again, that's another one of the cool features that the new Bowl TV has. We're not just bringing you the chat room, we're also showcasing who's on what TV pair, who you're watching, updated standings, the tournament info, everything you need to know on the oil pattern that they're bowling on today throughout the week, the standings, the live scoring, everything you need. We got the one-stop shop in the tournament info tab, as well as the live event calendar, the tab that's furthest to the right of your screen. Give you a little rundown of upcoming events and what to expect from Bowl TV going forward in the near future. Shannon O'Keefe liked that one, her first strike of game 5. Of course, we've seen a lot of strikes from her throughout the day. She gave us our first 300. Shannon O'Keefe stays hot there with the turkey. Steph Johnson also been hot on lanes 11 and 12 here today. She's a 4 or 5 here in game 5. Five of 6. Jacob Buttriff down on lanes 13 and 14. 8 of 9 going into the 10th frame. Looking to continue his big day, his big week. Looking at some of the comments in the chat, Thomas, it doesn't look like we're going to see any 300s here in the TV pair for game 5. Of course, we're not used to seeing that today. It's 3 out of the first 4 games we've seen a 300 game. We've seen perfection. Down across the board, it doesn't look like there's going to be a 300 here at all. Perry Crowell here, stepping up in the 8th frame. 9 spare in the first. On a 6-bagger now. Looking for the 7th. He says, take that. Sends all 10 to the back. Liz Colkin just misses the messenger, sending into the 10 pin on lane 12. As I mentioned earlier, messengers are very hard to come by here at the ITRC. Next week, though, spring break for a lot of the youth bowlers back home. If you guys are in the DFW area and watching, you're looking to hone your game, get ready for Junior Gold or any upcoming tournaments, as well as adults looking to get ready for the Open Championships, perhaps the Women's Championships as well, or any tournament in general. Come and hone your game here, the ITRC. Open lane practice. You can practice on any type of sport pattern you'd like. Practice your 10 pins, your spare game. Rod Ross also incorporating a fun little ITRC challenge where you can test your spare game. He's got a few different spare patterns for you to convert. I believe he may have mentioned that he's giving away some prizes as well, some free bowling balls. There's a couple different age brackets. The lowest score will be the winner at the end of the week, March 12th through the 16th. So the person that exemplifies and showcases their spare game the best throughout the week come out on top and win the bowling ball of your choice here at the ITRC. So if you're in the area, if you're a Dallas local, if you want to make the trip, if you're not, Rod Ross will welcome you with open arms. Give the ITRC challenge a shot. If you're looking to practice on a specific pattern, they'll hook you up there as well. ITRC very versatile in any aspect of your game that you'd like to hone. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Matthew Cannizzaro. He's back just in time for all the action.
Hello, everybody, and hopefully Brant held it down pretty well. Sounded like I missed some excitement. Kelly Kulik, I believe, finished off that 300 game, and sorry I missed it. I've seen Kelly throw a lot of games in our time together in this sport, and always cool to see perfection. Always fun, and heard the excitement from across the bowling center here. And now we're settled in for game number 5 already. Coming to a close. Some big strikes and strings happening all around us. Off to our right, John Janowitz, 268 after an open in the second frame. So 11 out of 12 for him. Butcheff, 258. We'll get the standings updated here through 4 games, and then we'll have game 5 as soon as it's available. Shannon O'Keefe back on her strike train. Stephanie Johnson with a string as well. Here in our feature pair for the men, Perry Crowell, 290 possibility coming up here. 2 shots to go for him. AJ Johnson working on a string, 235 his max score.
Shannon with a nasty 7-10 split there in the 9th frame. To take her off, as Matt said, her strike train. Perry Crowell finishes off game 5 with a big 290 game. Didn't quite reach perfection there in game 5 on the TV lanes. May have spoiled ourselves a little bit, but Perry still put on a show for the last 11.
All right, final shots coming up now. Over on 11 and 12. Liz Culkin throwing some pins. Can't get the 10 to go. 195 will be her max. Stephanie Johnson got the first hit in the 10th. 280 possibility. She is up for her second shot in the final frame. And she mixes them up. 7 goes late. Again at 280. Her max here. Shannon O'Keefe. After the 710, her max now drops to 245.
Stephanie can't quite finish off the 280. Finishing with a 9 count there. Still 279, big game for Stephanie. those of you watching back home. Finishing up game 5 here. Last few balls are about to be rolled. Lanes 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Get ready to start game 6. Last game of the day here on day 2. Team USA Pan American Qualifier.
All right, things are going quiet, except for Brant Houghton, which is great. He'll have some expert commentary for you coming up all weekend long, and he's just getting warmed up, folks. So while I'm headed out of town on Friday, he'll just be getting going at the Dallas sectional. Great young talent, perhaps some future Team USA stars. And we'll have it all for you here live on Bull TV. Aaron Smith, Emil Williams Jr., Jason Thomas, everybody on the road. It's going to be a good time.
Indeed, Matt, we're just getting started here. A lot of bowling throughout the week, not just during the week, this weekend. Intercollegiate sectionals going on all throughout the nation. Jacob Buttriff kicks off game 6 with a strike. He's done a lot of that today. Of course, one of our 300s seen here on the TV pair. He's looking to make that 2 on the day. He's bowled 2 this week, 1 yesterday. Bowled over 800 his last 3 games. Jacob looking to stay hot here. Those of you watching back home, of course, share the love, spread the wealth of the new Bowl TV platform. As we've been mentioning early and often today, a lot of bowling action coming up this week as well as the rest of the year. PWBA Tour, of course, about to kick off. Countdown is on. So make sure to share that just by clicking the graphic in the lower third area of your screen. Telling your friends, your family, you're watching Bull TV. We're having fun here watching the action. We hope you are as well back home. The best of the best in the house here at the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. A lot of big scores today on the 36-foot pattern. Jacob Buttriff put it on a show here on the TV pair.
All right, we're just a few frames away from the end of today's action. We'll have a recap for you later tonight on bowl.com. And if you missed any of the excitement, you can look back in the archives here on Bowl TV if you want to see what happened yesterday. Same deal. And if you don't want to miss anything tomorrow, we'll be back on the air at noon Eastern for the third of our 4 days of competition here from the ITRC. Each day is a new pattern, chance to see the versatility of your favorite Team USA members. 9 men and 9 women essentially battling for 2 spots on each side for the Pan Am Games. That's coming up this summer. The men will have a preview of that bowling center at the PABCON Men's Championships coming up in April, going down to Lima, Peru. A chance to get familiar with that center, get comfortable down there before heading back for the exciting Pan Am Games. Regardless of your age, Grant Houghton, pretty amazing. The opportunity to represent the United States on the lanes for the first time. The inaugural World Bowling Junior Championships coming up. So we'll see some of our Junior Team USA members, age 16 and younger, hit the lanes in Paris, France. That's coming up in just a couple of weeks. So the first World Bowling Junior Championships, the youngsters will get a chance to compete on the big stage. And then coming up later in the summer, after the World Women's Championships, we'll have the 2019 World Bowling Senior Championships. That'll be in Las Vegas. So if you are a USBC member, age 50 or older as of 2019, you can send in your resume and potentially get selected to represent the United States at that senior event, again at South Point in Las Vegas. So you can find more details about that at bowl.com/teamusa.
Buttriff's string of the first four there, Matt, comes to an end. Couldn't quite get the 7 pin to fall. 16 straight here on the TV pair.
I do see the question in the chat about the standings, and looking to get those updated. Just got to drop the files here. We'll have those for you as soon as they are available. And of course, we'll have the final standings after game number 6 for today's action.
Have another question in the chat from Tabitha. She's seen a lot of purple hammers out there. Your eyes are not deceiving you. There's a lot of urethane, not just on the women's side, but the men's as well. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Jacob Buttriff, a big fan of urethane. Wesley Lowe, throwing a little bit of urethane as well. And Matt, as a two-handed bowler myself, the one thing that I'm so impressed with is watching Wesley Lowe, how low and he gets at the line, how flexible he is. I had a chance to talk with Jason Belmonte about my game, and I asked him what the biggest thing was that I could improve. Of course, he goes and asks me if I've ever heard of yoga or Pilates. So flexibility, a big part of success. Wesley Lowe demonstrating that today. As we said today, the best of the best in the house here at Arlington, Texas at the International Training and Research Center. They made it here through team trials, being selected to Team USA. Here they are now, bowling for the chance to represent their country Pan American Games in Lima, Peru, 2019.
All right, and there you have it. If you're curious about the standings, we're getting the Game 5 update for you. But if you want to see what we have so far, you see 4 tabs there, one of which is your chat. It's going to be the third one in, and it'll give you a link toward tournament information. Just click on that. It'll take you to the Pan Am qualifying page, and you can see the standings both for today and overall through 2 days. Again, we'll drop those files as soon as they are available to us throughout the day. And then, of course, at the end of the day, when we are done, and we are nearly at that point. This is game 6 of 6. You see that on the bottom of your video window there. We'll have 6 more tomorrow and another 6 on Friday. Three perfect games today. Get those highlights put together as well. Shannon O'Keefe, Jacob Butcheff, and Kelly Kulik. Right, we are nearly at the end of today's action. Do appreciate everybody being here. We'll across the finish line with you here in just one moment. Any final questions? Drop those in the chat. We'll get them answered for you. Otherwise, you have to wait all the way until tomorrow.
Continued Team USA action coming at you all week. Matt, I know I can't wait. What about you?
I cannot. Looking forward to it. Always like hanging out with the Team USA members. I've been fortunate enough to get to know all of them on and off the lanes and interview them after their proudest moments and some not so proud. But always the professionals, the best ambassadors.
Matt, so as we wrap up the day here, you of course just touched on it a little bit. You covered a lot of Team USA in your illustrious USBC career. What's your favorite moment?
Definitely very hard to pick just one. I know that's a very cliche answer. But I could probably tell you, just going through this bowling center right now, 18 players. I've had a chance to travel with 14 of them at least to different events and see them find success in those moments. And some of the highlights being, of course, Jacob Butchruff bouncing back from a disappointing U.S. Open to win the World Cup. And for Jacob, most wouldn't know, but he's from the Arizona, Nevada area. Hadn't traveled very much outside of anything at those areas in his life. His first trip out of the country was to the World Cup, ironically only about 350 miles from his house. But to Mexico, went to the World Cup, and then being with him for that, and then his first trip over the ocean was to Hong Kong for the World Championships this past year. It was a lot of fun just seeing his kind of off the lanes experience, and of course winning the World Cup. Pretty amazing as well for Wesley Lowe. Also a highlight in Hong Kong, setting the World Youth Championships all events record in Hong Kong as a little guy. We've gotten to see Wesley grow up from 10 years old and bowling honor scores to being a near college graduate now, and just watching him grow literally from a little guy to a normal sized person here has been pretty cool as well. And some of his amazing accomplishments along the way. John Janowitz, also phenomenal career. I could go on all day. We could do this. We could go another 3 hours and just talk about how much fun we've had watching the players, watching Jordan Richard shoot 300 at the PAMCON Women's Championships in the Dominican Republic and win her first medals as a member of Team USA in a phenomenal performance there overall for the whole team in qualifying for the Pan Am Games. So on and on and on. Maybe that'll be a fun podcast at some point, reminiscing over all the years and the experiences, and a chance to sit down with each Team USA member even and talk about some of those moments and kind of relive it through my eyes and then through theirs.
I know I had asked you at one point, Matt, if you needed one strike from any pro bowler, who would you pick of all time? And Tommy Jones was your answer. I got to think that some of those moments as well, Tommy Jones winning some gold medals for Team USA, up there.
I think that's a pretty easy answer because Tommy's done it. He's proven that he can do it, and he stepped up and winning world titles for the United States, and whether it be delivering in the 10th of the championship match or along the way, and Tommy and Chris Barnes have announced their retirements from Team USA. We're going to have a little celebration for them coming up at the USBC convention. But they paved the way, those guys for sure, and their big moments. They made these young bowlers want to be in those shoes. And for a lot of the players here right now, they had a chance to bowl alongside those types of talented players. Again, we mentioned Bill O'Neill, Mike Fagan, Marshall Kent talked a lot about it yesterday. Marshall was the young newcomer on a team with those guys. He learned, and they put him in situations where he had to step up. So they trained him. It was on-the-job training for him, having to step up and make things happen as we're seeing things happen here. And now Marshall is the veteran leading these young players. Jacob Butchruff what a day, 15:09 for his 6 games. Finishes with 279. That came with a 300 along the way. We'll take a look at the standings through 5. Those are posted. Jacob was leading by nearly 100 pins over EJ Tackett. So Jacob, couldn't be caught with that 279 game. So for the second consecutive day, he will be the leader. 2 days, 2 points for Jacob Butchuff. It does not get any better than that. That is perfection as far as the Pan Am trials goes. Your goal is to get 1 point every single day. And so far he is 2 for 2. We'll talk to him in just a minute. On the ladies' side, Shannon O'Keefe leading by 60 over Stephanie Johnson with a game to go. Here in our featured pair again, Jacob Butler 279, Jana was 215, and Wesley Lowe didn't have the best day again, but always looking, always practicing, and no doubt we might see him this afternoon throwing a couple games as well. For the ladies, Josie Barnes will be in the 160s here in the finale. Jordan Richard can get to 236, and Sydney Brummett can get to 236 as well. But again, Shannon O'Keefe leading the way after 5 games. She is to our left. Her max score is 223. Stephanie Johnson was at 1191, and she has shot 235. So O'Keefe going to step up in the 10th frame, looking pretty safe here for the day. Kelly Kulik was a distant third at 1123. Watch our final shot. So you can actually see Shannon off to the left of your screen. She's on lane 7. And there goes her ball down, hits the pins, and all 10 fall. So she is going to be the one. Her and Butchuff top the standings here on day 2. We'll chat with them for a little recap as we reach the halfway point now of the Pan Am Trials. Butchuff, 2 points in the books. We'll have the overall standings on there as well. So pinfall will be worth points at the end of the week too. And this week's action will make up 60% of the qualifying totals. So a little confusing, but it'll all make sense when it's done. And if Jacob keeps bowling as well as he did, it'll be very clear as he will end the week potentially with just 5 points. So with that, final frames done here in our featured pairs. O'Keefe is going to toss her last couple shots to the left. Again, we'll catch up with them. Recap tonight. If you have any final questions, you have about 30 seconds left to get those in the chat. Otherwise, it's going to have to wait until tomorrow. I see one there. Did Marshall compete today? He did not. He came in yesterday with every intention of bowling, but his hand just wasn't going to take it. It wasn't going to have it for this week, at least early on. So he was on hand, cheering on his teammates today, and resting the hand, doing whatever he could to make that feel better. They have done a lot of bowling recently, a lot coming up, and it did not look good. There was probably no amount of super glue or new skin in the state of Texas that was going to help yesterday, but he said maybe after a couple of days of resting and soaking and just getting cleaned up that he might jump in for the last couple of days to at least get a few games in. So we will see.
See another question a little bit further up about why there's not a lot of crowd noise.
That is a great question. And generally, these types of Team USA events and training camps and such are not open to the public necessarily. So we don't invite in the fans as we would, for a collegiate event or a professional event. This is more about the team and the atmosphere and, the team building in a training sense. The ITRC is open today for business, so if you had some pro shop business to attend to or wanted to come in now that we're done and practice, you could do that. But as far as spectators, it's just more about it's a pretty significant, serious event here. Again, not open to the public in the let's invite everybody to come watch kind of way, but if you happen to be in the neighborhood and wanted to watch, you certainly could without disrupting any players, of course. We have seen this place pretty packed for like the Prairie View A&M Invitational, collegiate event, bleachers and people everywhere. Awesome to see that. But for this one, it's almost easier, better. You can watch it from Bowl TV on your couch, get comfortable, kick back, have a beverage, and enjoy the the expert commentary, and then what I'm able to offer as well. So there you have it. Don, Brandon, Craig, everybody else in the chat, we definitely appreciate it. And to our lucky autographed jersey winner, congratulations. We'll have more for you tomorrow and on Friday from the Pan Am Trials, and then the collegiate action all weekend long. It's going to be a good time here on Bowl TV. Again, if you want to see the recap or the standings, visit bowl.com. Check out our social media channels, the Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook and at USBC on Twitter. And again, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern, for the third round. New pattern, new day. We'll see if Jacob Butcher can be dominant once again here at the ITRC, folks. My name is Matt Canizaro, and for Brant Houghton, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's do this again, folks. That is the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.